Email notifications are a simple way to promote engagement and get learners more involved with what they're doing on the site. It also gives them a record that they can reference of what they've done. So I'm going to briefly introduce the concept of email notifications. And one thing to note here is these are notifications built into the system, primarily based on e-learning triggers. So you might separately be using a CRM or marketing automation tool. That's handled off-site. If you're using that, this section might not be as relevant because you might not want to use two types of email notifications to users, because certainly if you're using a CRM or marketing automation tool, it's more powerful and you can do more with it. This is for users primarily that aren't using one of those and just want a simple way to send emails based on learning behaviors. So to get these set up, I'm going to quickly go into the e-learning section and go into notifications under the menu. And at this point, we don't have any sample ones set up, so I'm going to start off by creating a new one. This is completely new to the system, and we're going to walk through the steps that are involved here. So for now, I'm just going to call this sample notification. Do make sure that it's something you can remember easily. Now, before I start adding other content, I want to take a look at, what you can do with it first. So let's talk about triggers before we talk about what's appropriate. So appropriate in terms of content here. So here are some of the available options. So let's say user hasn't logged in for X number of days. That's a possibility. And let's just start at the top. So user enrolls in a course. What happens then? If the user enrolls in, let's use a sample course, then let's send an email to the user and to the administrator immediately with something related to that. So let's say hi, and then we want the user's name. So in this case, let's use this one, shortcode. So I'm just going to copy that, and I'm going to, in this case, I want to make sure I don't pick up the bold. I'm just going to use the text view. Thanks for enrolling in the sample course. And let's see, I want to send it immediately. So as soon as they sign up, and I've already got the name here, there's nothing really else I need. So what I could do though is I could say to access the course or return to it at any time, please visit, and then I could put a URL in here if I wanted to. So let's say I wanted to make it a dashboard page. That's not where I meant to put it. I meant to put it down here. No, that's not what I want. I want my courses right there. So I added that. It added that. And then just in there, I want to put what the label should be for the hyperlink. And that's it. That's as much as I need to do. And then I can publish that. Now that one is set up. I don't really want to trigger that though, because I'm not planning to enroll in that course right now. So let's take a look at some of the other options too. This would send an email to the user though on enrollment and to the administrator to let the user know that they are enrolled in this course. Just a reminder there, it could be on course completion. Maybe you want to let the group leader know now that this user completed the sample course. So in this case, there are a lot more shortcodes. And instead of this, I could just say, this case, I want to show the user's name, but I'm going to address it to the group leader. So I'm going to change this to hi, group leader. I'm going to say this user. And I want last name as well. So actually, let me just paste that again, and I'll put in there. And now I've got a notification to the group leader saying that this user completed this course, which is great. Very easy. Let's do one that I can actually trigger really easily though. So in the previous lesson, we looked at quizzes and certificates and how that works. So let's do one where I did the test for the certificate. So I did sample for certificate. Let's do that one. I'm going to send a note to the user. I'm going to send it right away. And this time I'm going to use, I still want to use the first name, last name, but I'm going to change it so now I'm addressing it to that person. So let's just get those short codes up there. You just passed the sample quiz. And anything else I want to, like I could populate it dynamically here if I was going to reuse it, if it was going to apply to all quizzes, which is an option. Then I could make it dynamic there. Let's say I want to include how much time you spent in the quiz. Let's say you spent. I'm actually going to hold off on showing the emails for now. There's a slight complication with the test system, and it's pretty clear how they would look anyway. They're just going to be wrapped in the header and footer that were set up elsewhere under the design and email section for your LP site. So just before I go on, there are some other options here as well. So you can play with the settings a bit, try some different notifications. Make sure you listen to feedback from learners too about the appropriate volume of email and how it's helping them or perhaps distracting them from learning activities. Like certainly what you probably don't want to do is every time somebody completes any kind of topic, send them some kind of notification. It's just going to be too many and overwhelming, and it's going to lose some of the meaning. But at the same time, you do want to reinforce what they're doing with personalized emails and also let group leaders know what people are doing as they progress through the course. And there's an easy way to do it than potentially manually interacting. It allows you to automate some engagement and just build that into the system so you don't have to worry about it as much. And it takes some pressure away from having to check reports frequently to see where users are in the system. Anyway, that's really just a quick introduction to notifications. Try some out, get a feel for them, get your users involved, and do what works for your audience and courses. Thanks.